Dear students, we are just proceeding with another subtopic which is called groundwater, or is called apheric or subterranean. Therefore, underground water, this in another name, it can be called water table in the zone of saturation. When water percolates inside the ground, it reaches the point where it cannot further percolate. If fails to percolate because of the presence of aqueducts or aquicrudes. What is the meaning of aqueducts and aquicrudes? Aqueducts, this is the porous rock, like clay, which become impossible rock, which do not allow any water to pass. The rock which is saturated within the water is called aquifer. Therefore, aqueducts, these are porous rock like clay-like structure. But you have to remind yourself that the clay soil, this is the part of soil which consists of plasticity. Plasticity means mnato. And this clay or plasticity at the part of soil is the ones which can not allow more percolation, or thinking capacity will be low, because the nature of this soil is plasticity in nature, or is just with the mnato, have been concentrated to each other, and is impermeable in nature. And the meaning of impermeable, this is something which cannot allow for more penetration of water, or thinking will no longer to exist. Rock which do not allow any water to pass. The rock which is saturated within the water is called aquifer. Dear students, the aquifer, this is the rock, is just acting as the water table, or is the one which can hold or store the water. After this water to be sinking downwards, either in terms of infiltration or percolation. Mostly is through percolation, but wherever will be reached to the landmass, which is acting as the source-like structure, or at the cave within the landmass, or within the crust. Therefore, this area is called aquifer. An aquifer is of two types. There is a confined aquifer and an unconfined aquifer. Confined aquifer is the one which the permeable rock containing water is overridden by two layers of impermeable rock. Dear students, confined aquifer, but you have to remind yourself the meaning of aquifer. Aquifer, this is the landmass which can store water. There is no more percolation or sinking capacity within the crust. It's just holding or acting as the source-like structure, whereby the storage of water can be taking place right to the cave. Therefore, this aquifer is categorized into two parts. There is confined and unconfined. But a confined aquifer is the one which can be existing or taking place between two impermeable rock. Therefore, the water capacity to get in the aquifer, it can be passing to the sides, because uplands there is impermeable rock, and downwards there is permeable rock which can allow water to be stored, and to the area of aquifer there is another impermeable rock which then no longer to exist, or is not allow for more penetration of water. Therefore, this area confined, water is just passing to the sides of the landmass, not at the mid at the sinking capacity. Therefore, this area is called confined because it is just lying between two impermeable rock. For instance, here there is impermeable rock, and here there is impermeable rock. How about unconfined rock? Unconfined rock, unconfined aquifer is the one which permeable rock overrides an impermeable rock. Dear students, here there is the layer which is soft in nature or permeable in nature, but this impermeable rock, this permeable rock is just lying to the landmass which is impermeable. Therefore, the water, it can be think vertically, not like that we observed on confined, because the water is just passing through a sides, not at the vertical level. But this unconfined, this is the situation of aquifer to be lying one layer downwards, but at above area there is permeable, whereby water can be percolating vertically and reach to the layer where there is no percolation. This layer is called aquifer, but is unconfined because it just ride to one layer of impermeable, but confined is just lying two layer. The aquifer is just lying between two layer of impermeable rock, but here there is one impermeable rock which is just holding or acting as the source-like structure. Water can be stored at this or cavern, which water can be stored through vertically thinking. Dear students, unconfined aquifer is the one which permeable rock overlies impermeable rock, but unconfined aquifer is the one which permeable rock overlies impermeable. There is permeable is just right to the impermeable, like this structure which is shown on the whiteboard. The upper limit level of the saturated rock is called the water table. Dear students, what is the meaning of water table? This is the table which cannot allow for more penetration or percolation. For instance, even yourself, you want to put something on the table, it will no longer to reach downwards because the table is just acting as the one which can hold it. Therefore, only water table, this is the situation of water after to be percolating from on the surface, either through precipitation or through melt of ice and other factors can cause for water. Therefore, this water after to be percolating, it can reach to the area which is no longer to exist or to continue to be percolating downwards. Therefore, here we can obtain water down or ground water, or water which can be stored at this area. Therefore, here we are just meaning that the impermeable rock is the one which cannot allow for more percolation. The nature of this rock may be is the hardness in nature, or the chemical which made up for this rock is no longer to allow for more penetration or percolation. Dear students, let's describe types of groundwater. This is categorized according to its origination or source. Dear students, you have to remind yourself that groundwater, this is the water which can be found within the earth's crust. This is due to the penetration of water which have been come from the atmosphere. When we was describing, or when we were describing about the climatology as the topic, we observed the subtopic which is called precipitation. Precipitation, this is the larger proposition of water droplets from the atmosphere on the surface. This precipitation is after concentration or saturation and the condensation of cloud. But after this cloud formation, it can ready for the formation of precipitation. But this precipitation, it can be dropping on the air surface, either in terms of ice crystal or in terms of water, as the waterfall or as the rainfall. But after this water to hit on the air surface, it will be moving through the river from highland to the lowlands. But after to reach to the lowlands, this water, it should be percolating or infiltrating. Here we just mean that the water after to reach on the air surface, it can be passing to the area of pores, New Fazaki, or cracks or fissure to reach on the earth crust. But there is the area within the earth crust which cannot allow for more penetration. That is called the aquifer. This aquifer, it can be confined or unconfined, as I have described before. But how this groundwater can be formed? There is different sources of water, groundwater. For instance, the first one is called connates water. This is retained in the sedimentary rock since the time of its formation. Example, in the desert area where rain is very negligible, or very absent, or there is a low amount of water. Negligible. This is the word is called negligible. Therefore, means is approaching to zero. Water is low in amount, because in the desert the rain which can be taking place is about 250 millimeter per annum, rather than to the equatorial, which is consist of 2000 millimeter per annum. Therefore, to be negligible in desert, because the rain is low in nature. Therefore, but you have to remind this kind of groundwater is just taking place to the area of sedimentary. Sedimentary, this is the part of rock which is not stable, or the mineralization have been distracted through weathering. Therefore, because this sedimentary, this is after the changes of igneous rock. Therefore, this water is most taking place to the desert areas where the nature of the rock is sedimentary in nature. Dear students, another types of groundwater is juvenile water. Also is called magmatic water. This is liberated during igneous activities, and it is so hot due to the various mineralization. Dear students, this is the kind of groundwater which can be originated to the area of igneous rock. And I have to remind yourself that igneous rock, this is the mother of all types of rock, because the nature of this igneous rock is hotness in nature. According to the features or characteristics of this igneous, is consist of different mineralization, either of acidity or base. Base in another name is called aricante. Therefore, because this igneous rock is consist of different mineralization, therefore it can be hitting the water which can be taking place, and even the streams or geysers can be taking place, because the nature of the rock is igneous, which consists of different mineralization. Therefore, this groundwater, it can be caused or taking place to the igneous rock, and they can hold the water and to avoid more penetration. And the nature of igneous rock is the one which can hold the water in a good situation, because the particles of igneous rock is concentrated to each other than the rock of sedimentary. Dear students, another is oceanic water. Dear students, here we are just meaning that the groundwater, it can be found to the area oceanic, to the area of oceanic. Remember, oceanic, this is a depression-like structure whereby water can be drained from different areas. Therefore, after to be drained to the hole-like structure or to the depression, therefore, some of them, the water which have been hoarded or have been hoarded on the earth's surface, for instance, this ocean or this depression, some of them, it can be percolating to the underground within the ground through percolation, but can reach to the area which there is no more percolation, that is called aquifer, whereby this water can be stored and can be heated wherever the nature of the rock is igneous or is consists of different materials. But this oceanic water, as a part of groundwater, this is after the water to be hoarded with the depression from the ocean. Some of them, it should be percolating within the ground and reach to the area of aquifer. What is the meaning of aquifer? Aquifer, this is a saucer-like structure or depression that can be taking place within the earth crust and can store water and avoid to allow for water to percolate or to sink more. Therefore, most of this is just taking place at that area through oceanic water. Here, according to this description, oceanic water, this is percolated inland through the rock from the ocean or from the sea. And we were describing about the difference between sea and the ocean, and I described that sea and ocean, this is the part of water bodies whereby the ocean is larger in nature than the sea. But also, the ocean is consists of salt water than the sea, because the sea, it can be drained with water from one area. For instance, Mediterranean Sea, which drained from Nile River, from one side sea, even the chemical will no longer to react and cause for the salt. But ocean, it can be drained water from different streams of different areas. For instance, this depression, it can be regaining or taking water from different area. For instance, this is consists of chlorine, but this one is consists of calcium. Therefore, wherever this chlorine and calcium will be reacted to each other, can cause for the salt water, which is called sodium chlorine. Dear students, not only that, groundwater at the source, it can be obtained through metallic water. This is the delivery from the rain or snow melting. Dear students, as I have been described to the element of weather, to the subtopic which is called precipitation. This precipitation is the droplets of ice crystal or rain. It's just depending where they have been formed. Whatever will be, this precipitation will be taking place to the polar region or alpine region. The formation mostly will be snow. But wherever will be taken to the tropical or equatorial, the rain will be, the type of precipitation will be in terms of rain. Rainy at the water, rainy. You have to differentiate this. This word rainfall is consist of two words. There is rain and there is fall. Therefore, we can describe that rainfall because it consists of two words. Fall meaning is just dropping of water. Dear students, there is different words here we have to describe to each other because it is very essential. For instance, infiltration. Infiltration refers to the sinking of water into the ground which takes place at the surface level. But you have to remind yourself the infiltration and percolation. Infiltration, this is the sinking of water nearby the air surface. For instance, after the water to be dropping, either ice crystal or rainfall, after to hit this air surface, most of them, it should be passing through or sinking to the area of pores, or crack, or fissure, or vent. Therefore, this after to sink, it can no longer to exist for long distance. Therefore, wherever the water which is just infiltrating or sinking at nearby the air surface level, that is called the infiltration. But this infiltration is different from the word which is called the percolation. Percolation is the further sinking movement of water into the deeper level of the ground, where water saturates the soil and the local. Dear students, I told you that these words you have to differentiate yourself. Infiltration, this is the sinking nearby the air surface, but percolation, this is the solution of water to be moving or sinking far away, farthest. Therefore, the water can be percolating from the clay soil or from the crust or from the rock without any limitation, reach to the area of aquifer, which is acting as the water table, where there is no longer to percolate. Therefore, the infiltration is just existing at low level. For instance, here can be remaining at this distance, but for those which can be passing at a further distance, that is called the percolation. But the main purpose is to reach to the area of water table acting at the aquifer rock. Therefore, not only that, there is another terminology or words here which is called porous rock. Water sink, porous rock. This is when water sink down through the pores of the rock, or limestone, or sand, or gravels, or charcoal. Dear students, you have to remind yourself the meaning of porous. Porous, this is the word which is come from the word pore. Porous means nyufa. Nyufa ambazo zinaweza zikarao for penetration of water. Not only that, it can be passing to the limestone region. Limestone means this is charcoal-like structure, which consists of calcium carbonate. Wherever the calcium carbonate will be reacted with the rain water in presence of carbon dioxide, can lead for the formation of calcium bicarbonate, which is very weak in nature. Dear students, not only that, but also this porous rock can be passing through to the sandy or gravels. Sandy, this according to the types of soil. There is different types of soil. That is sandy, silty, clay, and loams. But sandy, according to particles, this is consists of large particles, according to degree of fairness and coarseness. The sand is consists of large particle, but clay is consists of fine materials or smallest like powder-like structure. Therefore, this material can be taking place to that area. Dear students, another terminology is called the porous rock. This is when water in this rock passes through fault or joint. Dear students, the water, after to be dropping from the atmosphere through climatology, after the formation of cloud, thereafter precipitation, therefore it should be hitting on the air surface. But wherever this water will be passing through faulty or through joints, that is called porous rock. But porous, this is just passing to the area of porous amboni nyufa, or to the gravels areas amboni kama kokoto, or to the sandy areas. Dear students, water table can be of two types. There is a permanent water table, but another is intermittent water table. We have to describe in deeply these two weights so as to be well understood and to make or to build up confidence wherever you will be in the exam. For instance, this permanent water table is the one which persists in dry condition. This is the kind of water table which can be taking place throughout, even during wet season or during dry season. But this intermittent water table is the one which can occur only in rainy season or during wet season. Therefore, these two things are different in terms of description. Because the permanent water table, this is the water table or aquifer which can exist or can hold water from wet season or even during dry season. But this intermittency, this is the kind of water table which can exist during raining. Wherever there is a rain, even this the water table can hold those water, but during dry season can disappear. Therefore, this intermittency is the one of water table or is the one of aquifer which can hold water during raining or during wet season, but during dry can disappear. But this permanent is the one which can exist or can hold water throughout the year, during wet season and during dry season. Dear students, water table can be also referred to as the patched water table. This occurs when water occupies the hard parts or races-like structure in the zone of non-saturation. Therefore, for instance, this structure is just showing the water table at different levels. Is like to the zone of saturation. For instance, is like to the lens-like structure. For instance, this structure, which consists of different layers, whereby this layer is temporary water table, where is just taking place for a short period of time. But there is another layer which is a permanent water table. This it can be existing throughout or during dry season. This water table can hold water. For instance, there is impermeable rock here. This impermeable is the ones or is the local which can no longer to allow for more penetration or more percolation of water, because there is a layer which is just holding as the aquifer. This aquifer have been taking holding water, and below of this water table there is a layer which is called the impermeable rock, which is acting as the one which cannot allow for more penetration. Apart from that, there is a patched water table. Is just shown like this structure. There is another structure here, lens structure. This is a patched patched water table. But the another layer is called the proper water table. And here there is another layer which is called the impermeable local, which is a one or is the local which does not allow for more penetration.